Welcome to another edition of the Business and Personal Podcast, where we bring you closer to the people that you do business with and also just share unique and interesting stories as well. And we got both of those covered today. Joined by Brian Falther, and he's a serial entrepreneur and always trying something new and has a lot of interesting stories to share. So we're going to talk about his latest venture here in this podcast, but I know you're busy launching that latest venture, Brian, so we appreciate you taking some time to talk to us today.
Awesome. Thank you, Ryan, for having me. I appreciate that.
So before we get into that, just give people a little bit of an idea of your background and what you've kind of done in the past with other businesses.
Sure. So my name's Brian Falther. Grew up in Ohio and then went to school up in Flint at Kettering University, where I majored in mechanical engineering. And so my background stems from working in the automotive manufacturing world of designing and installing high volume manufacturing lines. And one of the experiences that I obtained through my time at Kettering was understanding the world that I did not want to go into, which for me was the corporate automotive world that was the clear path when you're an engineer at Kettering. And so I knew very early on that I wanted to be an entrepreneur and start working on companies. And so I quickly started looking at problems, challenges that we all face as humans and people in the world. And one particular issue and challenge that I came across was food production. And I felt food production was something that was incredibly broken, definitely needed to be solved for in terms of how we utilize pesticides and herbicides and transportation and logistics of getting food from the place of growth to the point of consumption. And so I really started diving deep into the world of farming. And I spent about a decade in the industry of indoor vertical farming. So I'm one of the co-founders of a company called Bowery Farming. And we started that in 2015 and really with the intention of solving for how do we grow food and deliver it in a much more efficient way. And so we grew that from just an experiment in my basement and a prototype to ultimately just over a $2 billion valuation, and have seen that completely through to its closure. Actually, within the last month, Bowery has shut down. So it was a 10-year venture of trying to solve for food production. So lots of stories there on kind of the learnings of the rise and fall of a big tech company. And so over the course of the last couple of years, my focus has been around wellness and health and longevity, and that's where I'm focused on building the current project, which is Bask.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. The next great project you have here is Bask, and it's the simple explanation of it. It's a wellness brand. There's a lot more that you do with it that you'll get into, but let's start with the name. So how did you come about? I'm sure you kicked around a lot of different ideas for the name. How did you settle on Bask?
Yeah, one of the things that we spend a lot of time thinking about when it comes to wellness, and in particular the therapeutic modalities of cold plunging and of sauna, it comes from Scandinavia, right? And so we started looking back into the history of people that have been doing this for thousands of years in Finland, in Norway, in Denmark. What's fascinating is sauna is actually the only English word that comes from Finland. And it's an incredible history, right? And so Bask is actually a Nordic word. It comes from the the Nordic meaning of to relax and to enjoy life. And then our logo actually has some Nordic runes that are integrated into the logo itself. So you see the rune of ice, water, and fire across the middle of the logo as you look at it. And so Bask for us was a great discovery from a branding perspective, in the sense that it works well. It's easy to say, it's easy to read, It can work as a verb, as a noun, and it just makes sense. And it felt like the right move. We iterated through a number of different ideas. The name that we were going to use before this was called Iceberg Oasis, and shifted away from that to Bask, and we definitely made the right call there.
Yeah, sometimes the hardest thing to come up with when you start a business is the name, and that's
Yeah,
not something that you just rush through. That takes a lot of time and thought. And very
yeah,
interesting to listen to your thought process on how everything came together, even to the elements of the logo. So,
yeah. And it wasn't just me. Actually, I have a fantastic architectural team, and one of the things that working with my architect Kyle Kiefaber was that he has a ton of experience in graphic and logo design. And so when we were designing the space, we could design the brand in conjunction and in parallel with the space. So there's a really nice close-knit cohesiveness between the brand, the space, the story behind it, drawing inspiration from the past, finding ourselves here, sharing that in the present, and thinking through how we can continue to evolve that into the future.
so let's talk about the good stuff and what people are going to get from Basque. And there's people are always interested in new opportunities to work on their wellness and well-being, both social and physical, which you're going to be able to cover both of those. Give people just a general idea of what their experience would be like with Basque.
Sure. So Bask is a wellness club. It's a membership-based club that you would go to. The amenities that we're starting off with in our first pilot space is going to include a 40-person sauna. So one of the largest saunas in Michigan, and definitely one of the largest saunas I've ever been in, and it looks incredible. We're very excited to share that. And we're going to have 4 cold plunge tubs that were hand built here in Detroit by another local company called Arctic Carbon. And so we're super excited to have those in our space. There's not a whole lot of accessibility for cold plunging, especially around here in Detroit. And so we're very excited to be able to bring that to share with the broader population here. They're beautiful. They're completely handmade out of carbon fiber. So they have a really unique black look to them. They're very sleek and very purposefully designed for our space. So we're excited to share that. We'll have full locker rooms. We'll have a men and women's locker room. We'll have an outdoor lounge area. We'll have grab and go healthy snacks, water, hot water for tea, carbonated water, refreshments to go or refreshments to stay and hang out. The outdoor space will probably flex for the season, so we're looking at maybe putting some fire pits out there during the winter months and having some lounge space during the spring and summer where people can come and spend some time outside with us as well. And developing community events is really going to be a core focus of what Basque does as well, in sharing, with each other and having the ability to have these serendipitous conversations around health, around wellness, and what others are learning and to learn from each other. So I'm super excited to sort of create a space that doesn't exist for that right now in Detroit. And the space will be co-ed at all times. And we're looking at opening, I would say, middle of January. And excited to share the space.
Fantastic. So, who would you say, when I hear you explain that, it seems like it would appeal to a wide range of people, but who would you say this would appeal to the most? What types of people?
Yeah, I would say, anybody really that's looking to reduce stress in their life, looking to feel better, looking to have a community to socialize with, looking to maintain their physiological health, maintain their mental health, somebody that's specifically looking for sports injury recovery, muscle development recovery, mental optimization. And I think that's one of the most exciting things that I've spent the last couple of years exploring is these different types of protocols that you can utilize from a cold plunge or a sauna or a combination of the both. And so if somebody is looking for the replacement to their coffee in the morning and they want to come in, do a cold plunge for 30 seconds to a minute and get that 4 to 6 hours of just pure clean dopamine to get their day kicked off with, versus somebody looking to wind down and rejuvenate and really like calm themselves down with a late night cycle of doing maybe 15-20 minutes in the sauna, cooling down, doing 3 to 5 minutes in the cold plunge, and maybe doing a couple cycles of that. And in my experience, you sleep like a baby when you can conduct a nice cycle like that. And so we're providing a space for people to sort of experiment with themselves and figure out what protocols they're looking for. And then we're also going to be available and assisting in developing protocols for specific needs that people are interested in pursuing.
Well, it's hopefully you can get open by mid-January before the NFL playoffs are over. The Lions have a lot of injuries, so they could probably use your help and use your services. So
yeah, I imagine their facilities are probably pretty
Yeah.
nice that they have already. So we're looking to serve not just the players, but everybody in between as well.
No, awesome. Yeah, it sounds like a very cool, wide range of services, and you also have a product line that you're going to be offering. So just kind of let people know about that as well.
We do. In line with how we think about wellness, wellness products are something that we're very passionate about. And so we've developed a consumer body products line. So you can see some examples here. We've got shampoo, conditioner, and body wash. And these are sourced from a couple of local companies that we've collaborated with. Sfumato Fragrances from Midtown, and Ace High Company out of Ferndale. We did this trifecta collaboration for these body products in developing a signature scent for Bask, which was the brainchild of Kevin Peterson, myself, and my fiance Donna, and we're excited to share that. And then the products are being manufactured in Ferndale at Ace High, which is another great local company. The fundamental core belief is that we can create these products without using endocrine disruptors. So there are no parabens, no sulfates, no phthalates. Everything is naturally derived. And if you scan our body wash and check it out on an app like Yucca, we've actually achieved a perfect score for the ingredients that we've used for that. So we're very excited to really dive deeper into the touch points that we each have in our daily lives, and striving to provide a wellness solution there for long-term benefits.
So when you sit here a year from now, Brian, what are your hopes? Where would you like to see Bask at the end of year one?
Yeah, I would love to see Bask at a point in which we've sort of solidified ourselves as a space to go to get healthier and feel better, and specific to Detroit. And then I think around that time is when we'd start thinking about what it looks like for expanding and scaling. So the core idea here with Bask is building a large brand, building a presence throughout Michigan, throughout the rest of the country, and scaling this idea out into the rest of the world. And so I think, if knock on wood things go well, we'd be looking for where our next maybe locations would be for that. Would love to see some more product development as well. So we're diving into some tech ideas we have. We're diving into some more body products. Maybe we'll have a few more scents released by then. And I think fundamentally, building the community out is what I'm most excited for. And so having a membership basis that is inspiring and, provides a place for people to come, learn, feel better, and, optimize themselves is really what we're looking to do here. And we're just excited to offer that to the greater Detroit area.
Well, anybody that's still listening here, Brian is certainly very interested in what you have to offer. So how can they reach out, just have at least an initial conversation with you and see if Bask is a good fit for them?
Sure. You can check out our website at baskdetroit.com. You can email us at soak@baskdetroit.com, and then definitely check out our Instagram page, where we will be sharing updates to the build out that's been underway, and exciting news as we get ready to launch and open up. And feel free to reach out, send us a message, and we're happy to answer any questions.
Well, congrats on your next venture. Best of luck, Brian. Onward and upward for you.
Thank you, Ryan. Appreciate it.